Now he's back in, going to work on Reed. Hesitation, all the way to the cup, plus the foul!
I know he says cold. Man, this is cold-blooded.
That man right there is on track to win his first MVP, and I'm not sure if there is anything anyone can do about it, because we are now over halfway into the season, and the OKC Thunder are on pace to win just under 70 games. 70 games. And they've done this whilst two of their best players have missed a combined 50 games, with Chet Holmgren having not played since November. But that hasn't mattered, because every single night, they get an elite performance from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has gone from good to great to amazing to a true all-time great player over the span of a few years. Yes, don't get it confused for a second. What we are watching right now with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the greatest basketball players ever, and it only makes sense seeing as the Thunder are currently one of the greatest teams ever. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating, don't you? No, this OKC team currently ranks second for net rating. Not second this year, second amongst every team in NBA history. Just for reference, the teams either side of OKC, the 96 and 97 Bulls, and the 2017 Kevin Durant Warriors, which obviously tells you this is just a great team, but it is absolutely led by an all-time great player, just like all of those other teams. And Shai isn't just leading an incredible team, he is putting up some incredible numbers, averaging over 31 points on 53% from the field to go along with 5 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block a game, doing absolutely everything. And it's the efficiency which is mind-blowing. This is not a center. This is not a LeBron James level athlete. This is not Steph Curry breaking the game with shooting we've never ever seen. This is just someone who has absolutely mastered his ability to create separation and get to wherever he wants on the floor. And the difficulty with that is he can also score from pretty much wherever within the arc. Watch here against Dylan Brooks. Cross once, cross back, cross again, before a little hesitation to freeze Brooks, and then the sidestep to the left for the jumper. It's just counter after counter after counter. Or how about this time against LeBron, which is borderline senior citizen harassment, where Shai hits him with an in-and-out dribble before driving hard left, stopping and pivoting inside for the jumper. Just his ability to stop on a dime is so outrageous. I'm sure you've heard people talk about the likes of Jokic and Luka and how the game moves in slow motion for them. That's what it seems like is happening for SGA. But the difference is, he's still accelerating and decelerating at a rapid pace as well. It's like his mind is processing things at a completely different rate to how his body is moving, if that makes any sense. I mean, I'll just show you. This will make sense. Look at him here against Walker Kessler, going behind the back once, crossing back, and then once he steps inside, look at the fake to get both of the 7-footers to bite before dropping it in. Or here this time against Goga, and again he just makes these guys look foolish with his ability to stop on a dime and throw in that fake before stepping through. It just looks like he is seeing the defenders move in slow motion whilst he is continuing to move at a rapid pace. And all of this leads to Shai being one of the best ISO scorers in the NBA. Not just this season, but pretty much since he became an all-star level player, with him ranking in the top 80 percentile 3 of those 4 seasons, and being amongst the top 5 for volume in each of those seasons as well. And Anthony Edwards made it clear what he thinks of Shai as an ISO scorer. To me, he's unguardable. As far as any one-on-one matchup, yeah, you can go on and give it up. We all know who Anthony Edwards is. I mean, this is one of the most confident people in the entire world, and he's someone who prides himself on being a two-way player, playing the same position as Shai. But for him to come out and just acknowledge Shai is unguardable, that's just how good he is. And when I think of MVP seasons, I think of standout performances, and his recent performance against the Cavs might not have got the attention of other performances this year, but it was just absurd. Not only did he finish with 40 points in a blowout win against a team that was 34-5 before the game, but he had 26 of those points in the first half. One of the best teams we have seen in decades, again, that is factual, and Shai single-handedly dismantled them in a matter of 24 minutes. Watch him here against Jarrett Allen, which is just an unfair matchup, even for a good defensive big, as Shai just jets past him for the layup. But that was probably the least impressive of his first half bucket, because how about here against George Niang, the behind-the-back crossover into a step-back jumper, and of course it's cash? Or how about in transition against Okoro? Look at him get really low on the cross, going to his right, and then just that little bump to create separation, rising up for the jumper. Let me just reiterate, this is a Cavs team that has been playing at an all-time great level, just like OKC. And without Chet Holmgren, without Hartenstein, Shai just walked them down in a matter of 24 minutes, taking the life out of that entire team. And if you think this is all just because the Thunder are some super team even without those guys, that idea doesn't really work when you see how OKC played in the recent matchup against Dallas. Because in a game against the Mavericks with no Luka Doncic, who had been really struggling, OKC were without their superstar player. Well, they managed to score 98 points in a loss. This is a great team, don't get me wrong, but that all revolves around the greatness of what SGA does every single night. Just like the recent game against Brooklyn. Yes, I know it was the Nets, but with no J-Dub, no Chet, no Hartenstein, and even no AJ Mitchell, the Thunder absolutely blew them out of the water within a quarter of the game. And that is the impact of SGA. It's the exact reason why he is number one in total plus minus over the last year and a half. Unsurprisingly, neck and neck with Nikola Jokic, the two best players in the NBA currently. And with all of this talk about Shai's ability to score, this is not a one-dimensional player at all, because not only is he a big part of a great defensive team, but he's also the best player on this Thunder team as well. Like here where he gets the screen from Jay Will, and with Day'Ron Sharpe jumping out momentarily, it's a beautiful left-hand pass to Jay Will for the bucket. Or here where he catches Garland helping off Dort in the corner, so he slings the pass across court for the knockdown three. And then, like any good point guard, you also see his ability to find bigs in the pick and roll, whether that's getting deep in the paint and dropping the pass off to Hartenstein for his patented floaters, or throwing it up to Chet for his lobs and finishes right around the rim. Shai might not be Chris Paul or Nikola Jokic when it comes to passing, but when you are as great at scoring as he is, and as great at manipulating the defense, he creates so many scoring opportunities just off that alone. Not to mention, he has done this whilst not averaging more than 3 turnovers a game in any of those last 4 seasons. Everything about Shai's game is efficient. Everything about Shai's game is consistent, which we all heard him say, and that's for good reason, because there is almost never a night that goes past in the NBA where Shai isn't having a great performance and the Thunder aren't winning as a result. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing, dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day.